The dead period officially ends tomorrow, but Texas Tech is being linked to one of the more shifty guards in the portal. Who is it? We'll discuss his skill set, give my scouting report, and more, including, hey, who are the 4 names that you need to monitor most right now when it comes to Texas Tech in the transfer portal? Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast. Again, we'll give you the latest portal name you need to know and the 4 most pressing ones to know later on in the video. Would appreciate you liking the video, hitting that subscribe button, and turning on that notification bell to join the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube, almost 12,000 strong. I think we can get to 12,000 subs by the end of April. I don't think it's a crazy thing. So if you have Texas Tech fans in your life that aren't watching the show, send them the show. See what they have to say about it. I know I'm not going to make everybody happy, but I digress. All right, let's jump into this because we'll start with the newest name that Texas Tech has been linked to in the portal. And I'll be just upfront and honest with you guys. I did not understand it before looking at Syenergy, where I get my metrics from and everything. When I saw this guy's stats, I was like, why? When I even, looked at his measurables, I was like, why? Then I turned on the tape and I was like, oh, I got it now. I got it. My bad, Grant, for questioning anything. Here we go. You can see it on your screen right there. The name in question is Utah State guard Deyton Albury. This from the Portal Report. Shout out to Jacob Harris, who runs the Scarlet and Black alongside me and also works for the Portal Report. These are the following teams interested in the Aggies. Well, Aggie from Utah State guard: Texas Tech, Charlotte, VCU, Iowa, Wichita State, Robert Morris. You got Clemson on the list and others as well. There's a couple of names on there in terms of programs that stand out. I think most notably, obviously, Texas Tech, Iowa now with Ben McCollum, and then you've got Clemson. Those 3 names stood out the most to me, if I'm just being honest about it. Now we'll go look at his stats. You can see them on your screen right there. He averaged 7.8 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, 1.7 assists, and shot 43.3% from deep, albeit averaging just 1 attempt per game. You can see it on your screen right there. He is 6'2", 190 from the Bahamas, and he has 2 years of eligibility left. He actually started his college career at Queens College in Charlotte, which was a part of the A-Sun. Then he transferred to Utah State, which obviously is in the Mountain West. But he is a hyper-aggressive player on both ends of the floor that likes to get in all of the action. He averages about 1 steal per game, nothing too crazy. But offensively, watching the tape and looking at the numbers surprised the hell out of me. When I just look at the stat line, you're like, okay, whatever, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. But then you look at the stats themselves. Offensively, he loves to get downhill or out into transition and attack the basket. 80% of his field goal attempts came at the rim in 2025, 2026. He is uber athletic, I think his athleticism actually surprises some of his defenders in the sense of he's 6'2", but with his bounce and first step, he plays closer to like 6'4". Offensively when it comes to him being aggressive. Now, he's also a strong passer, 16% assist rate, and he creates primarily off the bounce. These next numbers that I'm going to read out to you surprise the hell out of me because, again, if you're just looking at the stats, you don't think this. But here we go. According to Syenergy, he ranks in the 98th percentile on catch and shoot opportunities, 83rd percentile as the primary ball handler in ball screens, 84th percentile in transition, and 90th percentile in spot-up shots. Let me repeat that. 98th percentile on catch-and-shoot opportunities, elite. 83rd percentile as a primary ball handler in ball screens, really good. 84th percentile in transition, I repeat, really good. 90th percentile on spot-up shots, elite. When I tell you, you watch the tape, Utah State did not give him enough opportunities last year. Is he a ball-dominant superstar? By all means, that's not what I'm saying at all. But in terms of watching the tape and on the defensive end, he can guard any guard on the outside and really wreak havoc. Think what Elijah Hawkins did really in the tournament where he was just a pest out there, right? And he was picking guys up from half court. That's what Albury does as well. I mean, Again, I was skeptical of this guy. When I saw that Tech was linked to him, I was like, I don't get the hype. Let me go watch the tape, yada, yada, yada. He isn't a starter. I will say that. But this is a guy I want on the bench for Texas Tech. This is a guy where I would feel incredible if he was the third primary ball handler on the roster for Texas Tech. Behind Christian Anderson, someone else they land in the portal, and then Albury. And the best part about it, I think he can be better utilized off the ball as well. He doesn't always have to have the ball in his hands, but his tape surprised me. I'll have the highlights that I watched down in the description below. I recommend you go watch him because he was actually one of my more favorite watches in terms of targets Texas Tech has shown interest in the portal. His tape pops to me, and I think he would be a perfect fit as a bench guard for Texas Tech with a guy that can probably play 12 to 15 minutes a night and make an impact on both sides of the floor. All right, I mentioned to you that there were some guards, or well, I shouldn't say guards, but they all are guards, so there you go. Some guys that you need to know in terms of Texas Tech having interest. And we've talked about them all here on the channel already. But these are the 4 players I'm watching most for Texas Tech in terms of could they potentially be the first portal commit for Texas Tech in the 2025, going into the 2025-2026 season. All right, I'd be remiss not to start out with Isaiah Pasha, the Delaware guard. I've talked about him on the channel. This is probably the 4th time now. He's 6'4", 190, 3 years of eligibility left. One of the best guards at the mid-major level, and he won the CAA Freshman of the Year award. For those that don't know, the CAA is the Colonial Athletic Conference, and if you want to go watch his tape, I would recommend you go watch his game against UNC Wilmington. Yes, that UNC Wilmington that Texas Tech played in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Delaware, the Blue Hens, shout out to Joe Flacco. They played them in the CAA tournament final, and he had 21, 8, and 7. I mean, he hooped. So that's a guy I'm watching for. Another one that I'm watching for in the sense of I don't think. We already know he's going to be on campus, right? We know he's going to be on campus this weekend, actually, and that is Donovan Atwell, from UNC Greensboro. He is 6'5", 190, ranked 85th percentile on the defensive end, shot 39.3% throughout his college career, actually shot 42% last year on 7.5 attempts per game. He'll get you 3 or 4 rebounds. Again, a really good defender, mature player, long, lengthy guy. I think he can step in and be that hybrid between Kerwin Walton and Chance McMillan. But he is a name to monitor for Texas Tech as well. Another player to monitor that we talked about on this channel at least once already, maybe twice, at least once though. It's going to be Lawan Watts, Washington State. Now, Texas Tech does not have an official visit at the time of this recording. You're hearing this on Wednesday, April 9th. They don't have an official visit set up yet, but there is interest. He's 6'6", 233 from Fresno, California. 2 years of eligibility remaining, averaged 13.7 points per game, 6.7 rebounds, and 4.4 assists last year while shooting 42.2% from 3 for the Cougars of Washington State up in Pullman. He is the guy that just screams D5 replacement, in my opinion. He's that kind of physical. Again, 6'6", 233, has a very similar skill set to D5. Texas Tech has interest. He is a name to monitor. And then maybe the guy that we need to look at the most here outside of, Watts, those 3 that we mentioned, this might be the guy that you probably need to monitor the most. His name is Tyree Bryan, guard from Santa Clara, 6'5", 220 from Orlando. 1 year of eligibility remaining, averaged 10.5 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, while shooting 42.9% from 3 last year for the Broncos out at Santa Clara. Congrats to y'all that got that Steve Nash trivia question right when we brought him up here on the channel last time. Bryan shot 50% nearly from the right corner, 49%, 47% from the right arc. He is an elite catch-and-shoot guy, ranking 95th percentile. He is solid in the pick and roll with a nice 69th percentile as the primary ball handler in the pick and roll. And, as a spot-up shooter, he is in the 94th percentile. According to Jacob Harris over at the Scarlet and Black Insider, Tyree Bryan and Texas Tech are trying to set up a visit for this upcoming weekend. We'll have more throughout the week, but that's what Jacob Harris of the Portal Report and Scarlet and Black Insider is reporting. He is a name, Tyree Bryan, to monitor for Texas Tech. So the 4 names I think you need to know most right now in terms of potential commitments for Texas Tech as it stands in no particular order: Isaiah Pasha from Delaware. Then you've got Donovan Atwell from UNC Greensboro. You've got Lawan Watts from Washington State. And then to round out, the guy that maybe is going to not excite me most, but a guy that I think is super intriguing and trying to set up a visit as we currently stand here today is Tyree Bryan from Santa Clara. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. I appreciate y'all tuning in. As always, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell for 100% free. Whew, stumbled over my own words there in the promo. 100% free content here on the channel all year long, whether it's on the gridiron, the hardwood, or the portal. We've got you covered right here on the largest group of Texas Tech fans here on YouTube, almost 12,000 strong. I think we can get to 12,000 before the end of April. That's my challenge to the community here in the Back to 12 squad. And I know the Back to 12 squad won't let me down. Let's get to 12,000 before the end of April and during this portal season. I'm RC Maxfield, reminding you, as always, to stay safe and Recum Tech.